Hello, love to you and your loved ones. I wanted to make a short video explaining what my last video was, and it's something I haven't done in a long time, but it is channeling. Now, I spontaneously channeled a long time ago, I don't know, 5 years ago or something, and then I started experimenting with it. I just went for it, even though I knew it was uncharted territory and who knows what would happen. But I just had to take the opportunity to learn more about the spiritual realms, so to speak, mental worlds, whatever it is, emotional worlds, and these energies or beings that are alive. Now, I always say that emotions and mind and trauma creates living beings. So we just have to maybe not be so rigid to what we consider alive. But for all intents and purposes, our emotions and thoughts do as far as my experience and my opinion, some direct experience though, by the way. So it's not just my opinion. At least within my life, I've directly experienced quote unquote living energies from other people. And, we could say it's the spiritual realm, or you could say they created it from their trauma, or maybe they were alive and then they attached to the trauma. Who knows, whatever. But Buddhism is more on the level, which I think is much more healthy anyway. So I think it's much better to think of it as it's all our minds and emotions that are creating living energies, living entities, quote unquote, negative spirits. When you say words like demons or whatever, you're giving them too much power, because maybe they don't deserve that title at all. And they're not even separate from our own minds and emotions and our traumas, etc. So we empower them with a lot of these concepts. So like I always say, might as well believe in what helps you and don't believe what doesn't help you. So that's the why I just go with what I've just told you. Now, a lot of people get scared, and I understand, because Christianity, for good reason, I've learned, for good reason, Christianity and a lot of religions, they have this big fear of the spiritual world and mental world, because you don't know what you're dealing with. When you're dealing with a human being, you see a person in front of you, you can see their actions, you could see that money was gone and they were the only one that was in your house during that time, and then you can just say, hey, did you steal money? Because you're the only one that was here, so I'm going to just assume it was you. But in the spiritual world, we're stuck in our five senses generally. And so it's scarier, because you don't know what they're really doing. If they say they're an angel, or they say they're this, you don't really know if they're telling the truth. And I do have my ways of finding out if they're telling the truth, but that's just my own ways that have worked. So you can vet them out. Anyway, all of this is coming down to what I just did. I did a long video and some long audio, and I'm just going to take clips from it, because some of it's very out there, and like I always say, I want things to be as practical and universal. So I'm just going to take some short clips from the video, at least for now, and then maybe later some short clips of the audio, from the audio, and the things that don't go into specific things that people won't necessarily believe, and things that are kind of challenging, even a little bit scary. But so anyways, I just wanted to get down to what was happening. And now in that video, I wasn't really, at least from what I can tell, and I keep vetting them out, vetting this voice that speaks to me out. It's not really a separate entity anymore. It's just, I'm just gonna go with what it says. It says that it's like a higher form of me, a higher self, as they say. So it is connected to me, and it is different, and in some ways it's has limitations that way too. But anyways, so I had the great experience of working with all kinds of beings and getting supposed messages from different beings that said they were this or that, ghosts or extraterrestrials or whatever, all kinds of things. And I caught them actually exaggerating the truth and not telling me things, like they were also using me for energy and stuff, which I never felt bad or anything at all, ever. And I knew that as I worked with a being, if my life started going downhill or my energy started going downhill, my my vibe started going downhill, well, then I knew something was up. So that's something that I always had in my own mind as a security blanket, to just keep track of time and how I changed, if I changed over time. Now, so now I don't even usually, quote unquote channel where the voice comes out of my mind, out of my mouth, where now I just use my mind and I just relax, completely let go, and then things come to me, which is, by the way, what a lot of great men of the past um, did in many different forms. They were accessing this beyond the conscious mind, or maybe um, the stage of consciousness between sleep and wakefulness. Um, and they were using this to get ideas and, you know, um, like Einstein supposedly he got the theory of relativity by doing some sort of thing like that, by just letting go. I've even heard of Alexander Graham Bell, or someone huge that we all know. He used to hold like a metal ball in his hand and fall asleep, and then the metal ball would fall out of his hand and then hit the ground. And he was waiting for this so that it would wake him up, but then he would be in that in-between stage, and then he can get ideas and epiphanies, and maybe ask a question before you do it or whatever. So this is nothing new. We've just lost contact with that as in general. I'm not saying that's exactly what I do, but I'm just letting go, and then words come to me. I ask a question and messages come to me. And so, yeah, I just wanted to explain that, because when I'm quote unquote channeling, I don't want people to think that my conscious mind is doing it, because I will say all kinds of random things. I will say specific things that people would think like, how does he know that? Or things that might challenge people or make them feel judged or whatever. And it is what it is. I let go completely, and then words come. Whether I'm just thinking, I just keep it, don't say anything, and then just listen to the word that comes in my mind's eye, or actually use my mouth. And so that's it. I just wanted to explain that. And I know that's a very out there thing, but it is what it is. I've been on the spiritual path, and this happens. So when things come to me, I just let it happen, whether it's messages, but I'm just saying in my life, I let life come to me. And so, for instance, lately I've been getting more into Hinduism too, but it's not because I wanted to. Things came to me, whether it was serendipities or visions or whatever. So if something comes to me, I just roll with it. I just go with the flow. And so keep that in mind when I say things, when I'm channeling, or especially when I'm channeling, because I have no idea what I'm going to say and I hear it when I'm saying it, but I don't have any idea what I'm going to say. And so I just want people to know so they don't think I'm just using my mind and these are my opinions or something. So I guess when from those videos of me on the couch where I'm just closing my eyes, it's not my conscious mind, it's not my conscious opinions, it's just what comes through when I let go completely, or let go enough to quote unquote channel, Peace.